Have you ever wondered what truly happens after a man reaches the age of 80? Many people assume this milestone automatically signals declining health or a life filled with limitations. But in reality, the experience at this stage is far more nuanced and meaningful. Take, for instance, Mr. James from Chicago, who still enjoys walking briskly every morning, compared to Mr. Robert in Atlanta, who has begun to slow down due to memory challenges. These differences are rarely random. They often reflect how well someone manages their diet, maintains their health, follows medical advice, and stays consistent with habits that support longevity. At 80, a senior man's body and mind provide important signals. Some remain vibrant and active, while others must pay closer attention to health risks and lifestyle choices. Interestingly, these observations are backed not just by anecdotal experience, but also by research from doctors, caregivers, and families of elderly men across the United States. It turns out that most of the outcomes at this age are shaped by habits formed earlier in life, the things they choose to avoid, and the routines they maintain after decades of living. In this video, we will explore 7 crucial things you must know about what happens to men once they cross the 80-year mark. After understanding these points, you will be better equipped not only to prepare for your own senior years but also to support your loved ones in achieving a healthier, wiser, and more fulfilling life. Make sure to watch until the very end, because the 7th point will reveal insights that could change the way you approach aging with dignity and confidence. This is a real snapshot of life after 80, showing how these small, intentional habits can profoundly improve health, energy, and overall quality of life for any elderly man. By paying attention to these things, seniors can continue to thrive, maintain independence, and enjoy meaningful days well into their later years. Number 1. Decline in physical strength. One of the most noticeable changes after a man reaches 80 is a decrease in physical strength. This doesn't just refer to lifting heavy items or running fast, but also to how the body recovers, the stamina to stay active throughout the day, and resilience when facing illness or minor injuries. Studies in SeniorHealth show that after 80, muscle mass tends to shrink faster, and recovery times lengthen, making even simple daily activities feel more demanding. Consider 2 real-life examples. Mr. John from Seattle, now 81, has maintained the habit of light morning exercises. He enjoys walking around his neighborhood, stretching, and occasionally using small dumbbells to keep his arms strong. His steps remain steady, his grip firm, and climbing the stairs in his home is still manageable without long pauses for breath. On the other hand, Mr. David in Miami has become much less active in recent years. He spends most of his day sitting in his favorite chair, and even lifting a light grocery bag now feels challenging. Walking from his bedroom to the kitchen leaves him winded. The difference between these 2 seniors is not age, they are both in their 80s, but rather how they have maintained their health, diet, and exercise habits over the years. Declining physical strength is more than a matter of stamina. Weaker muscles increase the risk of falls, slower recovery makes illness more taxing, and reduced mobility can lead to social withdrawal. Over time, this quietly diminishes quality of life. The encouraging news is that muscles remain responsive to activity even after 80. Heavy workouts are not necessary. Simple habits like morning walks, light leg exercises, or resistance band routines can slow muscle loss. Gentle stretching keeps joints flexible and eases stiffness. These practices not only improve physical strength but also boost mood, preserve independence, and extend the years in which seniors can remain active. Ask yourself, have your steps felt slower lately? Do daily tasks, like carrying groceries or climbing stairs, seem harder than before? If the answer is yes, it's a signal to refocus on maintaining your body's strength. How you move after 80 isn't just about the number of years you've lived, it's a reflection of the vitality you still carry and the quality of life you can continue to enjoy. Number 2. Cognitive shifts. Alongside physical changes, another shift that many men experience after reaching 80 is in how their minds process daily information. Seniors often notice that recalling a friend's name, locating their glasses, or keeping up with details in a conversation takes longer than it used to. This slower pace does not automatically mean dementia. Neurologists explain that this is a normal part of aging. As we get older, the brain's processing speed naturally decreases. Short-term memory may fade more quickly, and multitasking can become challenging. Yet, long-term memory and life experience remain largely intact, giving many elderly men a valuable wisdom that younger generations can learn from. Take, for example, Mr. Michael from Boston, now 82. He occasionally forgets where he left his house keys or mixes up appointments with old friends. But when he shares stories from his youth in the 1960s, he recounts vivid details with clarity. His children often seek his guidance before making major decisions, respecting the insight his years of experience provide. On the other hand, Mr. Richard in Denver, also 82, tends to ignore small lapses in memory. Initially, he shrugged them off as trivial, but gradually it began to affect his daily life. He once forgot to pay his utility bill, misplaced important medications, and struggled to follow longer conversations, causing concern among his family about his health and independence. Cognitive changes like these can be worrying, but they also serve as important signals that more attention is needed. Frequent forgetfulness or interference with routine activities may indicate issues such as poor sleep, medication side effects, or early cognitive decline. Ignoring these signs can increase the risk of confusion and dependence. The encouraging news is that research shows the brain can remain adaptable even after 80. Simple habits, reading, journaling, learning new skills, or playing memory games, can keep the mind sharp. Social engagement with family, friends, and community also supports brain health. Physical activity, like morning walks, along with proper nutrition and hydration, improves blood flow to the brain, further enhancing mental clarity. Many senior men discover that maintaining curiosity, learning new things, and staying connected with the world around them helps preserve mental sharpness far longer than expected. Ask yourself, have you felt more forgetful than usual lately? If so, don't panic. It may simply be part of the normal aging process. But if memory lapses begin to interfere with daily life, it is essential to consult a doctor promptly to implement preventive measures. How you care for your mind after 80 will play a crucial role in determining your overall quality of life in the years to come. Number 3. Changes in sleep patterns. One reality almost every man faces after turning 80 is a noticeable shift in sleep patterns. Nights that once felt long and restful are now often interrupted by frequent awakenings, lighter sleep, and less time spent in deep, restorative stages. Sleep experts explain that aging naturally affects the circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock that controls the sleep-wake cycle. As a result, many senior men struggle to achieve uninterrupted sleep throughout the night. Additional factors, such as common health issues in elderly men, prostate problems, joint pain in the legs, or side effects from medications, can further disrupt rest. Consider two examples. Mr. Thomas from New York City, now 81, maintains strict sleep habits. He goes to bed at the same time every night, avoids heavy meals late in the evening, and spends time in the morning sunlight. While his sleep isn't as deep as it once was, he manages to get 6 to 7 hours and wakes up feeling fairly refreshed. In contrast, Mr. Henry in Chicago has inconsistent sleep routines. He often dozes off in his living room during the day, making it difficult to fall asleep at night. He spends evenings tossing and turning, waking repeatedly, and by morning feels exhausted. Over time, this fatigue impacts his energy, sharpness of mind, and engagement in social activities. Changes in sleep like these aren't merely inconvenient, they can seriously affect health. Research shows that poor sleep elevates stress hormones, weakens the immune system, and affects heart health. It also increases the risk of falls, daytime confusion, and can accelerate cognitive decline. Unfortunately, many seniors dismiss restless nights as normal aging, but doctors warn that untreated sleep problems can worsen both physical and mental well-being. The good news is that better sleep is achievable even after 80. Simple habits can make a big difference. Maintaining a regular bedtime, limiting long daytime naps, reducing caffeine intake after midday, and keeping the bedroom cool and quiet all help. Relaxing evening routines, like light stretching, reading, or listening to soft music, signal the body that it's time to rest. For some men, consulting a doctor is essential, especially to check for conditions like sleep apnea. Left untreated, sleep apnea can severely reduce sleep quality, but with proper management, it can significantly improve rest and overall health. Ask yourself, have you been waking up more often than usual? Do you feel tired despite sleeping through the night? If so, it may be time to focus on these habits and prioritize better sleep. After 80, quality rest isn't just about comfort, it's critical for keeping your body, mind, and overall health strong for the years ahead. Number 4. Changes in digestion and appetite. Another change that often occurs after men reach 80 is a shift in eating habits and digestive health. Foods that once seemed flavorful may now feel bland, hunger signals may be weaker, and mealtime can lose its appeal. Geriatric specialists explain that metabolism slows down with age, while the senses of taste and smell also diminish. On top of that, medications that seniors must take daily can alter how the body perceives flavors, leading some men to eat less than their bodies actually need. Others may rely on quick, processed foods out of convenience, which over time results in an unbalanced diet. Consider 2 examples. Mr. Robert from Boston, now 80, still makes a conscious effort to maintain a balanced diet. He eats 3 meals a day, incorporating vegetables, proteins like fish or eggs, and whole grains. Even when he doesn't feel particularly hungry, he treats eating as a routine. Together with his wife, he often prepares simple, nutritious meals. As a result, his energy remains stable and his weight steady. In contrast, Mr. Edward in Chicago has lost much of his appetite. He often skips meals, opting instead for packaged snacks or canned foods. Over the past year, he has unintentionally lost weight, and his clothes now hang looser. Despite insisting that he feels fine, the reality is that inadequate nutrition weakens muscles, reduces immunity, and slows recovery from minor illnesses. Changes in appetite after 80 aren't just about food, they reflect overall vitality. Without sufficient protein, seniors lose muscle mass more quickly. Deficiencies in vitamins and minerals can compromise health and mood, while dehydration becomes a serious concern as the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. Not drinking enough water increases risks of dizziness, falls, and even confusion. The encouraging news is that simple strategies can make meals enjoyable and nourishing again. Eating smaller portions more frequently, enhancing flavors with fresh herbs or spices, and focusing on nutrient-dense foods like nuts, yogurt, eggs, and fresh fruits can help meet the body's needs. Drinking water regularly, even before feeling thirsty, is crucial. Sharing meals with family or friends also boosts appetite, turning eating into a social and joyful experience rather than a chore. Ask yourself, have you been feeling less hungry lately or getting full faster than before? If so, don't ignore it. Small adjustments in your eating habits can have a major impact on your health. After 80, how you maintain your nutrition isn't just about filling your stomach, it's essential for preserving health, strength, and quality of life in the years ahead. Number 5. Emotional resilience. Reaching the age of 80 brings challenges not only for the body and health but also for the emotional side of life. At this stage, seniors often face the loss of close friends, increasingly complex health issues, and diminished independence. These realities can trigger feelings of sadness, frustration, or even anxiety. Some men find themselves more easily stressed, while others feel a loneliness they never anticipated. Psychologists emphasize that while aging brings difficulties, it also offers a unique opportunity for reflection and emotional growth. After decades of life experience, many elderly men develop new perspectives, wisdom, and acceptance, allowing them to confront challenges with a calmer mindset. Take two examples. Mr. George from Seattle, now 83, has certainly faced hardships. He has experienced illness, the passing of friends, and limitations in daily activities. Yet, he has cultivated emotional resilience through habits such as journaling, deep breathing exercises, and maintaining meaningful connections with old friends. When difficulties arise, he responds without panic. His family sees him as a steady, composed figure, exuding calm and strength. In contrast, Mr. William from Denver, also 83, tends to bottle up his feelings. He worries silently about health concerns, mourns lost friends privately, and struggles with minor daily frustrations. Over time, his mood has visibly darkened. Even his physician observed that this emotional strain affected his physical health. Blood pressure increased, sleep became restless, and immunity weakened. This illustrates an essential point: emotional resilience after 80 isn't about ignoring problems, it's about how a man responds to them. Seniors who let stress or anxiety dominate their minds often experience a faster decline in overall health. Conversely, those who open up, share feelings, and rely on family or community support often discover inner peace and renewed strength. The encouraging news is that building emotional resilience is possible at any stage, even after 80. Simple habits like talking with trusted people, practicing relaxation techniques, or dedicating time to enjoyable hobbies can lighten mental burdens. Spiritual practices, prayer, volunteering, or counseling offer additional ways to release overwhelming emotions. Ultimately, it's about focusing on what can still bring meaning rather than getting caught up in things beyond control. Ask yourself, have small annoyances lately felt harder to shake off? Are you keeping worries to yourself instead of sharing them with someone who cares? If so, it may be time to explore ways to strengthen your emotional resilience. Because at this stage of life, health isn't just about nutrition, hydration, or medical advice, it's about maintaining a calm mind, a strong heart, and a spirit that remains upright, vibrant, and ready for the years ahead. Number 6. Shrinking social circle. Once a man reaches the age of 80, he often notices a very real shift in his social life. The circle of friends and peers he once relied on begins to shrink. Some friends move away, others are no longer healthy enough to participate in social activities, and sadly, some have passed on. As a result, the familiar daily chats and routines that once brought comfort become less frequent. Even if family members remain nearby, the dynamic of social engagement changes drastically. Without realizing it, this shift can lead to feelings of loneliness and disconnection from the world outside. Research in gerontology emphasizes that a shrinking social network directly impacts health. Seniors with fewer social interactions face a higher risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even cardiovascular problems. On the other hand, those who actively maintain friendships and connections enjoy more stable moods, sharper mental faculties, and potentially longer lives. Take two examples. Mr. Robert from Chicago, now 80, makes an effort to stay socially connected. He calls his sister weekly, attends local senior center gatherings, and joins a casual neighborhood book club. Although many of his longtime friends are no longer around, he actively engages with younger neighbors and new acquaintances. His days are filled with conversation, laughter, and renewed energy. Contrast this with Mr. Thomas from Dallas, a peer of Mr. Robert. Over time, he has withdrawn from social life. He rarely answers calls from family, declines invitations to community events, and convinces himself that solitude is safer and more comfortable. Gradually, he speaks less with others, his appetite diminishes, and his overall energy and mood decline. What began as a choice to enjoy quiet moments slowly morphs into harmful isolation. The consequences of a shrinking social circle go beyond emotions. Loneliness has been linked to increased blood pressure, weaker immune responses, and even a higher risk of premature mortality. Men who isolate themselves often lose the motivation to stay active, maintain healthy eating habits, or keep up daily routines. Loneliness silently erodes both body and mind. The good news is that it's never too late to rebuild connections, even after 80. Simple actions, greeting neighbors, calling long uncontacted relatives, joining local hobby clubs like gardening, chess, or art classes, can open doors to new friendships. Technology also helps. Video calls, text messages, or group chats can bridge distances and foster meaningful interactions. Ask yourself, have you noticed your social circle shrinking more quickly than expected? Are there days without meaningful conversations or interactions? If so, it's time to take small steps to reconnect. Every interaction today not only enriches your emotional life but can also contribute to better health and add valuable years to your life journey. Number 7. Perspective on life and legacy. When a man reaches 80, one of the deepest transformations he often experiences is a shift in how he views life and the legacy he will leave behind. At this age, many seniors begin to focus less on daily accomplishments and more on reflecting upon the meaning of the years lived, the lessons they want to pass on, and the mark they hope to leave on the world. This reflection isn't just a routine, it's a hallmark of aging with grace and dignity. Psychologists emphasize that thinking about legacy plays a crucial role in senior health. It can bring inner peace, a renewed sense of purpose, and emotional closure even as physical strength and health may decline. In this way, an elderly man can approach life with calmness and acceptance, regardless of the uncertainties that lie ahead. Take, for instance, Mr. William from Boston, 84 years old. He devotes time every week to writing his memoirs, sharing life lessons with his grandchildren, and having open discussions with his children about what truly matters. His family feels deeply connected and grateful, knowing that his wisdom, values, and guidance will continue to influence the next generation. In contrast, Mr. Edward from Philadelphia, a peer of Mr. William, tends to avoid these reflections. He rarely speaks about his past experiences or what he hopes to leave behind. As a result, his family often feels uncertain about his wishes and expectations. Over time, he experiences a subtle restlessness, a feeling that something meaningful is left undone. This is very different from Mr. William, who exudes calm, pride, and a profound sense of connection. It's important to understand that legacy is not solely about material possessions or grand achievements. It can appear in small acts of kindness, the life lessons imparted to children, or the example set in handling challenges with resilience. Seniors who embrace these reflections often discover renewed energy, purpose, and joy even after 8 decades of life. Conversely, avoiding this reflection can lead to lingering regret, wishing they had shared more or left a clearer imprint of their values. The good news is that it's never too late to cultivate a meaningful legacy. Writing letters to loved ones, recording stories from the past, or maintaining cherished family traditions are simple yet powerful habits that ensure your life's lessons continue beyond your years. Legacy isn't just about the end of life, it's about enriching every day that remains. So, ask yourself, have you considered the stories, values, or lessons you want to pass on? Does your family truly understand what matters most to you? If not, now is the perfect moment to start. At 80 and beyond, life isn't about counting the years gone by, it's about making each remaining year count, leaving behind a lasting impression of wisdom, love, and purpose. Conclusio. Now that you know the 7 things that typically happen when men reach the age of 80, it's time to pause and reflect. Some of these may already feel familiar to you or someone you love: the gradual decline in physical strength, moments of forgetfulness, restless or shorter sleep, or a diminished appetite. Others may touch more emotional aspects: stress, the loss of friends over time, or a growing awareness of the meaning of the decades lived. All of these experiences are natural parts of aging, but they do not diminish the value or purpose of life. The key lies in awareness, and awareness brings power. Weak muscles can be strengthened with simple daily exercises. Memory lapses can be slowed through brain training and staying socially connected. Restless nights can be improved with consistent bedtime routines. Appetite can be nourished with balanced meals and adequate hydration. Emotional resilience grows through openness, reflection, prayer, and supportive relationships. A shrinking social circle can be expanded with small gestures, a phone call, a greeting, or a light chat with a neighbor. And building a meaningful legacy can happen every day through the stories, values, and acts of kindness you choose to share. Turning 80 is not a signal to stop growing. On the contrary, this stage of life can highlight your wisdom, experience, and perspective as your greatest strengths. The choices you make today, staying active, remaining curious, maintaining connections, will shape how meaningful, fulfilling, and connected the years ahead will be. We'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments which of these 7 things resonated most with you and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your stories and reflections are incredibly valuable. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with your loved ones. Your support inspires us to continue creating content that informs, motivates, and uplifts. See you in the next video, and may your days ahead be filled with health, peace, and profound meaning.